Hi everybody, this is CR number 29, helper video number 1. It says Sarah's picking James up for school. Sarah asks how many miles away James lives, and James says the fastest way to the house is 3.5 miles. Sarah says that Waze is saying the fastest route is 2.5 miles. Who is correct, James or Waze? Well, first of all, it looks like what James is saying to Sarah is that he is taking this route here down A Street, which is 2 miles long, and he is then going up B Street to get to the house of Sarah, which is 1.5 miles long. Waze, it looks like, might be taking a faster route, but let's try to see if this faster route or this diagonal here is 3.5 miles. So the first thing we need to do is we need to look at Pythagorean theorem, because guess what we have? A right triangle, and we are missing a side of our right triangle. So since we are missing the hypotenuse, remember the hypotenuse, or the longest side of the triangle, is known as C in our equation. So we are looking at this side being A, B Street, we'll just call that one B, and we're going to try to find C to see if Waze is correct in their measurement of 2.5 miles. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take A Street, which is 2 miles, and we're going to square that distance, plus we're going to add the distance of B Street, which is 1.5, and we're going to square that distance, and that will give us the hypotenuse or the length of C Street to see if Waze is correct in their measurement. Well, 2 squared is 4, and then on your calculator you can go ahead and square 1.5, which is 1.5 times 1.5, hopefully you remember that, which is 2.25. And we know that's going to be equal to C squared. Now we're going to go ahead and add together 4 plus 2.25, and we get 6.25. And that equals C squared. But remember, we don't want C squared. We want the actual distance of C Street, which is only one of these C's. So the only way to undo squaring a number is to take the square root. So anytime we take the square root of one side, we take the square root of the other side, because they have to remain equal at all times. Well, remember, the square root of C squared is just C, because C times C is equal to C squared. The square root of 6.25, we are going to go ahead and put that in our calculator. So when you go to your calculator, make sure that when you put in 6.25, that you're hitting the square root key. And you do get a distance of 2.5. So was Waze correct? Yes, it does take 2.5 miles to travel from James's house to Sarah's house by taking C Street.